Hi, welcome back to Raunchy Reality Recaps. Now, in this video, we're going over the whole Gosselin drama that's going on with Colin and his mother. Now, Kate actually came out recently stating her response to Colin's allegations, and his sister Maddie also did as well, but we'll go ahead and start with Kate. Now, Kate told people that she felt backed into a corner and left with no choice but to address the allegations. She claimed that Colin received multiple psychiatric diagnoses over the years, and she admitted him to a treatment facility in 2016 after several alleged outbursts, attacks following a psychiatrist's recommendation. In her statement, she said, Colin's distorted perception of reality is one of the many issues that he has always struggled with, Kate claimed to the outlet. All parent-child relationships are complex, but with mental illness is involved, it is incredibly complicated and painful, let alone easy for others on the outside to understand. Now, while she noted that she still loves Colin with all her heart, she insisted that he remains a very troubled young man and continues to need a lot of help. She concluded that his brothers and sisters and I have not been directly involved in his life due to his history of unpredictable behavior and violent tendencies toward us. Yeah, so that's her response. What's funny is that she said she kind of glossed over everything. She said he had a distorted proportion of reality. So is it true that you made him eat alone? I mean, all these allegations that he's coming out and saying that he had to eat alone, that she would treat him differently if he didn't want to film. It's basically she's just putting a whole blanket over this thing and saying, well, it's distorted perception. But what is it, Kate? Did you or did you not do that? See, when you have somebody like this that doesn't want to admit what they did, they just try to blame everybody else and say, well, you don't remember it exactly how it happened. That's what basically Kate is saying. You don't remember how it happened, but I'm not going to deny it completely. She's not going to come out and say, no, that did not happen. I did not do this and I did not do that. Because if somebody knew that they did not do that, they would go right to those allegations and say, hey, that right there is not true. That right there, this, and that is not true. I did not do that. But no, she didn't do any of that. She put, oh, he has a distorted perception of reality. So what, did you do it? It's just not as bad as you think it is? Was to him, So yeah, I think it's all bullcrap what she said right there, because none of it was actually denying anything at all. At all. She didn't deny one thing. She just said he had a distorted view of reality. So what is it, though? So anyways, let's go on to Maddie. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Maddie is a young adult, but seeing how she grew up with Kate as a mother, I'm not going to go hard on her, because I remember when I told you, like in the last video, of my childhood and even to adulthood, I was defending a young adulthood. I would defend the things my mom did to my sisters, because either she would make it believe that it wasn't that bad as it happened, or that they deserved it. So even when you're a young adult, your parents still have a lot of influence and everything of you, and then you still have all those years of a child of their influence to shake off and realize that, hey, it wasn't right. So Maddie did say that she accused him of physically threatening her and every member of her immediate family as recently as last year. She also said, I will never allow someone who has exhibited hateful and even violent behavior towards others based on their racial identity, gender identity, or religious beliefs to be in my life. Now, again, we don't know exactly how true that is, and we also know that, I know she was a kid, but Maddie was still not that nice of a child. She wasn't. She also had her issues, and we've seen it where she would sit there and hit on her brothers or sisters and be mean to them. So she was also kind of a violent child as well. Now, she might have grew up and doesn't do that anymore, and that's a great thing. But he was still a young child when he went off. Like, I think it was 12 or something that he wasn't there. So she didn't really get to know him when he was growing up. And if it happened in the past couple years, yeah, it's wrong if he has done that in the past couple years. But you got to also think he's only 19 and he's still dealing with all the trauma that he has endured. And Maddie wasn't locked up like he was. She does. I mean, and again, I say I can't really hold it against her because this is how she was grown up. She still has a way to go as far as shaking off whatever her mom put in her head, and she has to realize at some point that he went through a lot more, being locked alone, put away, and thrown away like a piece of trash than she did, so hopefully she realizes that, and hopefully, they can, just have a relationship and work on it together, because the boy's been through a lot, dude. Like, it breaks my heart even thinking about putting a child in a facility like that. I know sometimes you have no choice, especially with parents that don't have the financial means to do anything, or single parents, but come on, Kate had the financial means to hire somebody to come in their house. Okay? She had the means. So anyways, after Kate puts all that information out there, Jon Gosselin, his father, ends up, defending his son, which rightfully so. And I've always liked Jon a lot better than Kate, because I've seen, I used to watch the show Kate Plus 8, or Jon and Kate Plus 8, and she'd treat him like awful crap, like she would. So hours after Kate Gosselin broke her silence following son Colin's claims that she had institutionalized him to conceal her alleged abuse, her ex-husband Jon Gosselin has spoke out. He said that Kate posting cruel, false accusation regarding Colin seems to be just another way for her to justify her inexcusable, horrific past behavior towards him. The son on Friday, July 21st, he told them, true love for a child wouldn't include a mother attacking their son to the public. Do not forget that a judge awarded sole legal and physical custody of Colin to his father. After further noted that Colin needed to be cleared by the Marines with a full background check, including mental, physical, and clear medical clearance before enlisting in the armed forces. The government's full diagnosis clearly reflects the truth. So, yeah. We have Colin in the Marines. So there's proof right there that he went out. I mean, they do check. So that's proof right there. They had that he was checked, and I guess doesn't have a diagnosis. I mean, I might be wrong about that, but as far as I know, Jon's basically saying, he's been checked and everything. He doesn't have any kind of diagnosis. But you got Kate saying, oh, well, they did diagnose everything, all these psychiatrists, but has she once brought proof? Has she? Because I'll tell you this. In order to get a diagnosis for autism, which she said he had, you have to literally go through a lot of stuff in order to get that diagnosis. You do. I had to wait almost a year for an appointment for my son, and then the appointment was like 4 hours, and then they give you a whole workup, sheets and everything. You have enough paperwork, okay? I still have my kids' paperwork. I have tons of paperwork. I mean, I got every IEP, every doctor evaluation, therapist, all that. Like, there's plenty of paperwork. And if there's not, she can go call the hospital up, call the medical records department up, and ask for those records. And they will provide it. So why not any time she said he was diagnosed, I have these. So number one, we have Kate making a statement that doesn't in any way try to say that she didn't do those things. And then we also have her to where she won't provide proof where he was diagnosed with anything. I mean, that just speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. Okay? Completely. Because you see Colin, he does say that, he still wants a relationship with his mom. The boy still wants a relationship with his mom. I mean, I even seen some things where he will admit to the behavior that he did do. And then you got Kate over here, will call out her son on, will attack her son through the media. She doesn't want a relationship with him. She's already proved that. She won't admit to anything she's done wrong. She won't deny it. And then she won't show proof or anything. But you got Colin over here, exact opposite. So who do you believe? Personally, I believe Colin. Maybe it's because I grew up in crap like this, but I believe Colin. And and just knowing how I grew up, I wouldn't hold anything against Maddie either, because she probably has a lot of work on herself to realize that what her mom did wasn't okay. And I can tell you right now, it might have been hidden from him too, because my mom was good at attacking one kid and the other kid never even knowing it. The parents not knowing it, nothing. So yeah, I do feel sorry for Colin, and I wish him the best, and we'll definitely keep an eye on this, keep you up with it and everything. Y'all have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye.